So Piggy Book 2 Chapter 2, which took place inside of the store, was amazing. Very straight to the point, an awesome map, but there was a lot of secrets in here. So in today's video, I am going to be going over all the secrets in Piggy Book 2 Chapter 2, the store. I'm also going to be picking a few of you from the comments and giving you some Robux. All you have to do is leave a like on this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please make sure you leave a username down below to where I can contact you. If you haven't joined in the Big B Cookie Nation group, make sure to do so. A link to that is also down below in the description. So let's go ahead and get this started. So how does chapter 2 actually start? So chapter 2 literally goes into the store. It seems that this book 2, I would say, kind of goes straightforward. It's getting straight to the point. You know, a lot of predictions are thinking it's going to be somewhere else, and then it turns out to be no, exactly where it's going to be, where I think most people think, including myself, along this way, because we kind of so used to having these predictions where it's like, okay, maybe it's going to be this, and it turns out not to be. But it is a store. Again, it turned out to be a store, which is what we thought. And I think we probably thought that, okay, a store is just way too easy. It has to be some type of hidden agenda behind this, possibly. But yeah, takes place in the store. You're getting some help from Pony and Zizzy. There's also a really cool secret, if you did not know, that if you give Zizzy, of course, the grass, and she attacks Piggy, what happens is she kind of like does like a kick and kicks Piggy and knocks Piggy out. So it's not like the sword animation anymore. So yeah, if you don't pay attention to that, you won't actually see it. So I thought that was really neat the way they did that. But yeah, you start out in the store. You, Pony, and Zizzy go out along on this journey. Now there is a note. The very first note is actually in the parking lot under the yellow car, and this note says, "Heard something going on up north with the military. I wonder why they moved their bases to colder places." Now I'll get into more detail about this as we will be doing a prediction on the next chapter, which is going to be chapter 3, but that will explain a lot about what's going to be happening in the next chapter, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, a colder place. If you do remember from the trailer, we did see something about a colder place, so just bear that in mind and don't forget that line there. So there we have it. There is our very first note that we see. There's also another note which we're going to talk about now, so we'll be going over all the notes too. And again, inside the store, most of everything was pretty much emptied and just kind of cleared out. There were a lot of little signs around that said, you know, restocking, thanks for your patience, a lot of those in different colors, and everything has just pretty much been raided and taken. I mean, it does feel like in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, although it's not, but we have these groups of survivors and there's nothing left because they pretty much raided all the stores, at least. I mean, when we rewind and think back, we arrested Willow for raiding stores and, you know, stealing supplies back then in the flashback. So yeah, by now, again, time has fully passed and the infection has spread. Of course, there's nothing in the store. Now let's go ahead and check out this other note. This one says, "Why are we being abandoned? We need most of them. Well, we need them most, and now they leave." So there we go. Let's read that one more time. So why are we being abandoned? We need them most, and now they leave. So what do you guys think this note actually pertains to, at least? Now it could actually pertain to the military going up north as well. So it's just something to also think about, or people that they actually need, of course, that's in their group, and now they're leaving because maybe they're scared and don't believe in the group. So that's something to also think about too, of, you know, why are we being abandoned? You know, they probably need people, who's ever writing these notes, which again, I'll get into more detail about that one in the near future. And then let's check out this other note, which is actually just on a shelf, and this says, "Looks like others have taken the supplies here before us. Better luck next time, I guess." So whoever had wrote this note and came here, all the supplies were already gone and already taken. So very unfortunate to whoever was trying to get these supplies, that someone pretty much already beat them to it. So there's a note there. And we also have one more note that's in this chapter, and this says, "I don't feel very well about that tiger. I haven't heard him speak once when he's," and then it's like, when he's here. So he kind of shows up in this note while they're actually writing the note too. So I'm curious to see, who do you guys think is writing these notes? I have a pretty good theory on it, but again, I want to share it in another video. So those are all the notes in chapter 2. I do want to give a big shout out to a friend of mine, the best is Nick, for also helping me out with those notes. Absolute legend as well, because I was on like kind of like a semi vacation. If you guys follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you probably know that. But anyway, here we have it. There's also some more things inside of the store, which are some things to really point out if you did not notice. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stores. So this could also hint at new characters coming in the near future. So this store, the first store I'm talking about, is a place called Gorilla Airways. So I thought this was really cool the way it was actually spelled out, because we have gorilla and then A in the middle and then Airways. Well, you can use the A on the gorilla and the air on Airways. So I thought that was really awesome there. So maybe we will get a gorilla at some point who maybe turns out to be the pilot. No, just kidding. But I would really love to have like an airport map. That will be awesome. So there was a sign there, Gorilla Airways. So what do you think? Will we get a gorilla skin in the near future? I think that would be really cool if we did. There was also another shop that is called Spec Squirrels. So we might actually get a squirrel, and it might be a squirrel at the very end. I'm not 100% certain about this character at the very end, because I'll talk more about the Settlement 6 as we get closer to the end of the chapter. Again, so much I don't want to spoil, because some of this will tie into the chapter 3 predictions. However, we will talk about the end, so I do hope you have caught up and beat the first, let's say beat chapter 2. I would also say chapter 1 and chapter 2 at least, so you're fully caught up at least. So those are some of the things there. Also, one thing you will notice in the parking lot, it seems that this store is connected to the metro. So there was also kind of like a little cage off thing, like it was blocked off obviously, and it said Metro Station 7. Now that's funny, because as you guys know, that chapter 7 in Piggy book 1 is the metro. So very, very cool. Who knows, Bunny might be on the other side of this very well. No, I don't think so, at least. But yeah, it's cool to see that that is actually connected there. So great job on this map. Again, it was just phenomenal. And again, all the signs and things like that we see around the store. There was a toy section as well. I mean, everything was just pretty much cleared out of this store. So let's talk about the end, because as we're beating this chapter, which the chapter actually doesn't take long to beat, IKEA's did build this map, and phenomenal job on this. Again, this map flows really easy, and it was a lot of fun to play, and it wasn't something that it was just like, okay, I've played this map a lot of times too, and each time I've also enjoyed it. So as we get closer to the end, you get the batteries, and you have to give them to Zizzy, because the whole point of this trip was to get batteries for the radio. So as you make it to the end, you have Giraffe and Mimi there working on the radio. And then they're kind of like, hey, we're glad you're back before noon, and then Giraffe also makes kind of a side joke that Giraffe has to cook for a week as well. But this is where it starts to get intense here towards the end. So you guys put the batteries in the radio. And I also want to point out, if you didn't notice, at this whole situation, Z is actually spying on you guys. So Z is in the background looking at you, and kind of like, yeah, I think just keep an eye out. I don't think this is something too crazy, at least, but Z is definitely will know what's going on and kind of hear on what's going on. So as Mimi and you guys are looking on the radio, you hear someone say, "Greetings, we can hear you. This is Settlement 6 speaking. Who is this?" And then Mimi goes, "Okay, this is the safe place. How can I help?" And they say, "We are looking for communities to trade with. We'd like to meet up." And then Mimi goes, "Where should we go to find you?" And then the Settlement 6 says, "Meet us at the Old Oak." And then the signal kind of breaks out. Now, this was already suspicious. And one thing I will say, I do believe that Minitoon is a big fan of a TV show, which I'll get straight into, because I was also a very big fan of this TV show, and it reminded me so much of it. Like, as playing it in the end, it was like, wow, okay, I can definitely tell he loves this TV show. And this was, I think, also his inspiration in some parts of Piggy as well. So there we have it. So as that goes on, you literally go and you meet Settlement 6. And Pony was already kind of weary about this, like, hey, we don't know them, we don't trust them, so why are we doing this right now? So long story short, you make it to the very, very end, at least, and then you go into the Old Oak, and straight there you can also see people hiding behind the trees, and Mimi and Giraffe actually wait. So it's just you three that go out, you, Pony, and Zizzy. And as you go out there, you get ambushed by Willow. Yes, Willow makes a return as we predicted, and we also predicted that Willow would not be the same Willow that we bumped into, because Willow was quite nice, I would say, before, and now Willow has a grudge towards us. So you bump into Willow, and then this here are the characters that we have. So we have Willow, we have Tiger right there, which I believe that's who they're talking about. We also have Pandy as well. We have Kitty there too. And they're also holding an axe or a hammer or something. So let me know who you guys think this is. I don't think that's Barry at all. I mean, yeah, that's a tough character to kind of figure out. I don't know if that's a new character too, but we'll have to see. I'll get more into detail about that character and who that could possibly be, at least. And again, apparently, you know, Doggy is dead. So I think if that was Doggy, we would have straight figured it out. And why would Doggy be on the team that Willow is with, if that makes any sense? So that's definitely not Doggy, obviously, but I don't know if it's actually Barry either, although the other characters do look quite different. So who's to say that's actually not Barry? So just a thought in mind, at least. But yeah, we'll get again into more detail about that one. So we have these new characters, and then Willow shows up and is pretty much the leader of this and recognizes you and says, you know, hey, look, I remember what you did to me back then. This is like pretty much payback too. And we also find out that Pony was a part of the Settlement 6. So this was very, very interesting here. And some secrets that we can see here is that everyone's in different costumes. Now, what I wanted to say is that this part reminds me of The Walking Dead, because also when I think about Willow is wearing a scarf, there's a character called Negan in The Walking Dead that also wears a scarf and is kind of like the villain against the good guys, and who also does this in captures as well. So if this goes along those lines, something bad could happen to Zizzy, because Zizzy also gets captured in this and is going to be questioned. And now when this, you know, chapter ends, you and Pony kind of go out there. And Willow did mention that, you know, Pony was so good, but then pretty much, you know, they kind of split up, and Pony, you know, they kind of, you know, fell apart from the group, at least. So yeah, it ends with saying, you know, she understands, now let's get out of here. So Willow takes Zizzy and everyone else too. So they do, well, we do find out that Pony mentions that what this group name is, which could tie into the TSP. Pony says that they're the Silver Paw. When the infection broke out, I needed to find a group. Unfortunately, I was stuck with them. They did awful things, but I was too scared to leave. So the Silver Paw, TSP. Do you guys think that means and stands for TSP? Let me know down below in the comments. But those are all the secrets in here. We also did see some secrets that will tie into the trailer, onto where this is going to happen, the next chapter at least. So it seems that you and Pony are going to be going on this adventure. But that's going to wrap it up for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys thought of this, and if you found all the notes yourself. And I look forward to hearing your Chapter 3 predictions on this too. There may be a video out late tonight on the Chapter 3 predictions, so be on the lookout for it. But thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and share it. Also, feel free to subscribe for more, and if you're new to the channel, and if you want to show your further support to me as a creator, you can always use star code BIGB2 when purchasing Robux. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!